Okay, guys, have your attention. I'm happy to see such a good crowd here tonight. You know, it's a winter night, tough to get out, and I'm happy that everybody's here.
Anybody know?
Speak up.
You can't hear me? Now can you? Okay. I'm glad everybody's here tonight. It's these cold nights, everybody's not willing to come out, but we got a good crowd for this weather. The last meeting we had, we were talking about voting on a couple of things, and one of them was name tags. So you've had a month to think about it. Either you guys want them or you don't. And I'd like to vote on it. Everybody's heard about it, right? All right. So what do you think about name tags? We haven't decided to a particular type yet, but if you vote it in, then we'll get some people together and get the best, get a consensus as to what you want or what's the best ones. So let's have a show of hands. How many people would go for the name tags? All right, without counting, that looks like that's a winner. The other subject was the lifetime membership. And everybody here should know about that because we discussed it at 2 meetings. And it was in the newsletter. What do you think about that? And before you vote, I just want to know. What's that?
No.
Well, thanks, Fred. I appreciate that. For those who don't understand, the lifetime membership is a recognition of people who are older, who can't come to meetings anymore, have moved away, and for all intents and purposes, that they can't come for sickness and whatever. And we're just going to make a certificate out and award them this certificate, letting them know if we do it, we haven't come up with the right or any wording yet on it. But it's going to be a recognition for them being in the club, and they're not going to lose any privileges. If they can get here at any time, they can come to the meetings, they can still vote. They're not going to have to pay any dues once they receive that. And I think it's a nice, instead of people just drifting off into the sunset, and it's a nice recognition for members that have been here a long time. To get that, I mean, you have to be old or sick or whatever, a combination of all of it.
Can you waive the dues?
Yeah, waiving the dues for them. Like John Lyon, for instance, is 91, I think. He just turned 91. He's got to reach a point. He's pretty active for 91, but, as long as, hopefully he stays alive. But he spends all his time in Florida, and when he's here, he tries to come to a meeting, which is wonderful. But I would even include them. And when a name comes up, we could discuss that name and get an opinion whether you want to do this person or that person. So, and you will vote on everything. Question.
Does the person that's getting this, do they have a choice? I mean, do they want to have this? If someone, wants it, that's one thing. If they don't want it, then I feel like you're putting them out the pasture.
I'm not, we wouldn't be putting them.
That's what I mean, if they want it, the guys,
Yeah, no, we could ask them, that's a good point. If someone, like there's 2 guys in Wakefield and another guy, I think he lives out that way as well. They're not, they've got some serious problems. And so we could make a phone call. If you want to put that in, we could do that. Make a phone call and say, we'd like to honor you with a lifetime membership award. What do you think? And if they say, I don't want it, then they don't get it. But we're certainly not trying to put anybody out to pasture.
well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, no, that's a point well taken, Brian. Yeah.
So there's no restriction. You can vote, you can do everything a regular member would do.
They can do anything they want. If they come to meetings, they can do anything we want, go to any function we have, get the same benefits. I think they paid their dues if they've been here a long time and they've aged out. And this isn't something that's the first time it's ever been done. It's been done in a lot of fraternity clubs, it's been done before, So, but there's a problem. In our bylaws, it says that if something significant needs to be voted on, it has to be pre-announced. Now, the name tag one we just did was pre-announced. This one here didn't make last month's newsletter. But if you want, and you don't have to, if you want, there's a majority here, we can take a vote, and if you want to override it for tonight, for that matter, we can do that and then have the vote. Well, we've been thinking about it for a month already.
You said last month you were gonna vote on it this month.
What's that?
You said last month you were gonna vote on it this month.
And I'd like to tonight, but it didn't get in the newsletter, and in the bylaws, it says it's supposed to be. But and it also says in there that anything we vote on is voted on by a majority. We certainly have a majority.
What's that do to the vote?
What's that?
What's that do for bringing new guys in?
Nothing. It's not going to affect it. There's still, we're still at whatever number we're at, and the cutoff is 100.
All right.
And if any, just to address that, Bob, if at any time you feel like there's too many members in the club and you want to lower that, we can vote to make it 80. We can vote it to make it anything you want. Yeah.
I'm satisfied where it is right now, but I'm just asking a question.
Yeah, but a lot of people say it's too big because we can't have meetings at certain houses because we have too many members, which is true. So I personally don't want to see it expand over 100. But, we can lower it as people drop out, we can lower it.
Bill's got a question.
I can't see him. All right.
Question. So if we get 20 people, let's say, that fall into that category,
Yeah.
do they still count as the full count of the club?
Oh, that's a good question. There'll still be members, but under the lifetime membership.
Right.
Right.
So when you look at your count of members, and let's say we're at 100, capping at 100.
Now, and these lifetime members, because they don't come to meetings, because they can't come to meetings, I would think that you'd take them and deduct it from the 100. But not to say the purpose being to get, and if you use it 10, for instance, not to get 10 more people in. But it'll just give a real number of how many active members we have and lifetime members.
So if they don't pay dues, that's what's gonna happen, right? And they still get all the rights, but at the same time, they don't come to the meetings. And I'm just saying, they really don't know what's going on in the club. So how
Right,
do they-
but George, you got to understand, they're not staying away from the meetings by any choice.
Right, I know that.
Let's face it, they're sick, and we're all going to be there someday. And it's just, I don't know, to me, it's a recognition of it. And if it showed up at a meeting, someone brought them, good, I'm glad to see them.
It'd be a great thing.
What's that?
It would be a great thing to see.
Yeah, if someone comes that's, unable to come and they haven't been for 2 years, then that's great.
Bill's been trying to ask a question for a half hour.
All right.
That list.
What, Mike?
If there's 20 people on that list, are we going to have 20 new people come in?
No.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Okay, Bill, Gracia?
I said at the last meeting, we're all gonna be here someday. Okay? So that's a good point that you made. And I agree with you on it.
All right, thank you, Bill.
See the first volunteer?
Question?
I have a suggestion. The
What's-
guys, if we do vote this in, the
I
guys
can't
that
hear
are
you.
lifetime members, if we do vote this in, the guys that are lifetime members, maybe we should have like a nice little plaque made for them, lifetime members, just to give them something to remember, for us to remember.
Right, we're gonna have a certificate,
Yeah.
which they can frame or we can frame it.
Right.
And they'll be given a
Give them
certificate.
some recognition.
Yeah, just like we've had a few guys die in the last year or so. And the committee went around and we presented the wives, in most cases, presented the wives with a plaque for their husbands or boyfriends, whatever they were, in recognition of the fact that they were here and we remembered them. You can't hear me? I said the committee in the past year or so went to the deceased Paul Protz and a few others. We went to their homes and had plaques made, plaques they were, and presented the wives with a plaque in recognition of their husbands being in the club. And they welcomed it. They were very happy to have it.
We bought bricks at Don Gartlett's for them.
And we also in the past have bought bricks at the Don Gartlett's Museum.
And we gave the wives the certificate saying what number brick it was.
Right.
Museum.
Yeah, Donnie's saying that the certificates from Don Gartlett's were presented to the wives, and the number of the bricks that were down there and where they could find it, which they appreciated it.
How does this,
They didn't get a plaque, they got a certificate.
I can't hear.
The wife got a certificate, not a plaque.
All right, certificate.
how does this affect the people that are already honorary members that we've had in the past? We had that. Is that still a thing? Or?
That's an age thing, right?
I don't know about, what honorary members do we have?
We had guys that were in the club as honorary members, and they were always in the Strokers book as honorary members.
In the Strokers book, we either got members or members' friends.
We have always, friends.
Yeah, the friends ones are possibly people who've never been in the club.
We have to send them.
Like well, here's where I'm going. Back in the day was Sam Sampson, and he was an honorary member, and every time we'd go up there, he'd say, oh, I'm so glad I'm an honorary member of your club, whatever. So I just thought, how does that work in with the...
Well, I never knew it to be honorary members. It's just they're friends of the club, as far as I know.
Well, back,
Yeah,
just going like
but this will be a different category. It'll be the same thing. If you went to visit Sam's wife, and and present her with that plaque, she'd be quite happy about it. Anybody else? Kyle.
Yeah, first off, there is such a thing as ornaments. I think Brad is, not Brad, Barron's is one of them. So we do have that category. But I suggest that, I think there are a lot of questions. Nobody really knows how this is going to work. Somebody should write it down, put it in the newsletter, and table it for the night, and
I agree. He's right.
bring it up again.
Table it till the next
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
There is an age thing, right, already?
No, you could be 100 years old. There's no age.
I thought there was an age.
No.
John, that's wishful thinking.
That's what it was.
All right, so, yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we have a vote on who would be for it and who would be against it. To have someone get a certificate saying that they're lifetime members because of physical or mental or...
Right, we're going to do that, Richie, but we can't do it tonight because of the bylaw. And his suggestion, we've talked, we'll probably know more tonight than we did last month, right? So we'll write it up, we'll put it in the newsletter, it'll be a notified thing in the newsletter. You can read about it, and we'll vote on it next month. All right? All right, so that's the way it's got to be. All right, anybody? Anybody else? Denny?
You
Nothing?
don't have a joke, Denny?
I do, but I'd rather not.
All right. Well, at least we got that stuff behind us. All right, I guess if that's all we're going to do, we'll draw the 50-50. Oh, anybody look at, Gary, somebody else, John, come up and he wants to do a jacket, so that's two. Anybody that wants to get a jacket monogrammed, they're looking to get like 4 or 5 jackets at one time. So get in touch with me and tell me you want to do it, and I'll either collect the jackets from you and bring them down myself, or tell them, you guys can bring them down in a certain week, and once they get 4 or 5 of them, they'll do them all at once. Because it's more costly for them to do one at a time. Hello.
Change the subject, I might have missed this, but did I understand that the club gave St. Jude $2,500 this year?
Whatever they gave was in the newsletter.
Okay, I missed it.
Ask the treasurer.
Okay.
John? 2 jackets, that's good. And you want one? So we've got our 5, so if you give me a call, you know, I'll bring the jackets down for you, but you have to, like, get the jackets to me, all right? Or you can bring them at the next meeting. What's that? Yeah, if you bring them to the next meeting, I'll collect them all, and I'll bring them down and have them done. And you can pick them up at the house, or I'll give them to you the next meeting after that. What's that?
You just do the signage on it.
Yeah.
We still have sweatshirts.
Yeah, and we still have sweatshirts and T-shirts, and they haven't been coming to the meetings the last couple, but we're going to get that done too.
Anybody that wants to buy one for Christmas, we got them. Most of them are black.
Okay, Gary, you won last month, right? I did. Okay, why don't you step up here?
Gary, geez, why now we're just not talking about it.
Give this guy the good eyes.
Okay, we have last 4. 1, 2, 4, 1.
Someone winning already?
1, 2, 4, 1.
1, 2, 4, 1. It's the wrong Tony.
Check that number.
Money goes to money. We'll give it to him. That's as close as I'll get to it.
All right, Tony won $126.
Just put it to St. Jude.
He donated.
Tony donated. Gentlemen, hello. Tony just donated his money to St. Jude's. And the next meeting's going to be at Kelly's Museum right behind us. It'll be in the newsletter.